Tonight, that empty feeling, Christina Keneally and State Labor stare into the electoral abyss.
And I'm going to fight every day until the poll that counts.
The one certainty is the polls will tighten, they always do.
Making a mozza, BHP hits the profit mode. Beware the jackal, Cyclone Carlos bears down on the top end. And the Kiwis may be family, but they can't resist the odd pot shot.
We treat it as a mark of respect when our friends across the Tasman claim ownership of such traditional New Zealand icons as Pavlova, Crowded House and Farlap.
Good evening, Ross Childs with ABC News. Labor feared the worst, and it doesn't get much worse than this. The state government is facing a history-making defeat in March, according to the first opinion poll of the campaign. If Nielsen's polling is reflected at the ballot box, the party could be left with just 13 MPs, a loss of more than two-thirds of its parliamentary numbers. But one Liberal MP did his bit to take the focus off Labor, getting into an argument with police with the cameras rolling. Here's state political reporter Matt Wordsworth.
The police in Granville pulled out all stops for a visit from the Premier. But then the local Liberal candidate, Tony Issa, pulled up, along with his mobile billboard.
My car parked legally in the area here. There's no indication that the police car, the police are going to close the area. I can't see the reason why I have to move the car.
Eventually, he agreed to move his ute.
You're welcome to Granville anyhow. Probably for the last time.
The police did overlook the crossing of the double lines.
What seemed even stranger was that the Liberal volunteers came up and asked me for my autograph.
Perhaps police and MPs don't mix. They're certainly not supposed to in election campaigns, according to official guidelines. But that hasn't stopped Labor MP Cherie Burton using a photo with them in her latest campaign material.
This is totally unacceptable behaviour, and if the Labor Party had any ethics, they'd ensure all of these ads were withdrawn and that their candidates actually abided by the rules.
It's the second breach from Labor following Christina Keneally's ad last week.
This is something that has been done in the past on both sides of politics.
To add to her woes, the party has recorded the lowest primary vote rating since Nielsen began polling 40 years ago. It gives the coalition a whopping lead on a two-party preferred basis. Barry O'Farrell watched 13 elite young footballers going through their paces, roughly the same number of Labor MPs he'll face if the poll is repeated on election day.
The one certainty is the polls will tighten, they always do. The other certainty from this poll is that the public simply don't believe Labor.
The Nielsen poll just continues the horror run from News Poll to Galaxy, but Christina Keneally put on a brave face.
I'm going to fight every day until the poll that counts. The poll on the 26th of March.
She also mustered 16 MPs and candidates at Homebush to warn that Barry O'Farrell would increase density in Western Sydney. But Christina Keneally was quite literally playing to an empty stadium. And what this poll shows is that there are very few people taking any notice at home either. Matt Wordsworth, ABC News.
Tony Abbott